Welcome back, YouTube. Today we're going to be watching the follow-up to the cursed gun images where he has a cursed AK, the most cursed AK he has ever seen. And so without further ado, let's get into it.
Poor AK. I know the Forgotten Weapons cursed Crink was bad, but it's gotta be the worst AK I've ever seen.
All right, Cafe. No, it's continuing now.
Dear God, that is the most cursed AK build I've ever seen. No, this is unacceptable. You stay put. Daddy's coming.
Oh my God, he's flying! What? Is he in?
Okay.
What?
So it took a lot of doing, but I finally have acquired in this bag what can only be described as the worst, just most cursed AK I've ever fucking seen. So in this video, we're gonna show you guys what this is, talk about what it is, how it was built, and maybe even attempt to shoot it.
What do you mean
if this thing
attempt?
actually runs, that is beyond a Christmas fucking miracle. All right, so let's take a look. Silly me.
Don't drop
First,
it!
Time to thank the people who helped with those last minute flights.
Real quick, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Lords Mobile.
Oh my God, it's another one.
Know that there is real cash in it for you. Now, not only can you enjoy the same exciting experience as me, but you can win one of their massive
Brandon
giveaways for
Herrera
$5,000
is
cash.
addicted to
Now,
mobile
many
games.
of my old friends know that Lords Mobile is one of the best strategy games.
Oh,
I've ever
absolutely,
played.
they know.
With Lords Mobile, you can kill anywhere, anytime. Wait. With Lords Mobile, you can kill time anywhere, anytime. You'll step into an awesome 3D simulation world to create your own city, and there are plenty of things waiting for you, like upgrading buildings, conducting research, leveling up your heroes. For people who like playing with friends, just like me, Lords Mobile is perfect for you. You can chat with players from all over the world and even build a guild with them. But if you only have a few minutes to chill, Lords Mobile now provides the 3-minute tower defense game mode with hundreds of card combinations you can really enjoy.
Those like
anytime,
very
anywhere.
different games.
Lords Mobile recently carried out its great update, Artifact System. The artifacts are marvelous items like dragon scales, goblin wings, dwarven mallets, and more.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
for the $5,000 cash giveaway, there are 2 ways to win. If you click the link in the description below, there's a might ranking, and the top might ranked player will win $500. Other chances for $200 cash are also available in the might ranking. In addition, you can spin the lucky wheel and win cash every time you upgrade your castle. And for everyone, $350 Lords Mobile gift packs will be offered to you after you download the game.
I find it
Thanks
really
again to Lords
funny
Mobile
if
for
he
sponsoring. Now,
legitimately played these games like all the time.
Since the last episode of Cursed Gun Images, but it's finally here. So time to check out what I just picked up. I guess we're gonna start where I always start, with my zipper.
Ha! There's just a giant
All right,
dildo in
so-
there.
And I will tell you this, if you are squeamish, you might want to avert your eyes.
It's a giant dildo.
This is that cursed AK build. Look at it.
Okay. He's gonna have to explain this to me. Well, why are there so many rivets or belts and wow? What?
Now, if you
Okay.
don't know what you're looking for, this doesn't look too bad, but it is one of those scenarios where the longer you look, the worse it gets. I can pretty confidently say about this build that literally nothing was done properly. And I can already hear some of you saying, Brandon, this really doesn't even look that bad. Okay, sure, it's a little ugly and, you know, nothing was riveted properly or
Yeah.
at all. Like, really at all. But that can't affect
Welcome,
the function
Quibble.
that much. I mean, he still built the gun, right? It's not like it can be that bad.
What?
It can be that bad.
It should not know.
This is fully assembled for the record. So before we go too hard in the paint, like this gentleman clearly did before he put it together.
Wait. Where did he find this? Okay, like he had the image. Did someone just post this on the internet? Like, hey, anybody want this? Who wants this cursed AK? It's like, hey, Brandon, I'm a Russian. You want this AK? I hit it with a sledgehammer and then bolted it a bunch of different times and riveted it. You want it? You can have it.
What is this supposed to be? It's an AK, dumbass. Specifically, this is a Yugoslavian M70B1. It was Yugoslavia's AKM variant with a fixed stock, chambered in 7.62x39 with a stamped receiver. This is what that is supposed to look like. Everything riveted nicely, nice
Yeah,
and
looks
tight,
good.
everything looking good. This stamped receiver is actually doing receiver things and has a bulge up front. We'll get into that in a minute. Of course, mine has the grenade launching spigot up front for reasons. But even just comparing them visually, you versus the guy she told you not to worry about. You also smoke a lot of meth. A lot. So where the hell did I even find this thing?
Where do these people keep getting all this meth?
My buddy Brian over at Occam Defense had this thing roll through his shop the other day. Put down the pitchforks, he didn't build it. Somebody had brought it in, I assume under the suspicion that something might be wrong with it. So he posted a quick bit on Instagram showing some of the key highlights of how fucked up this thing is. And I cringed so hard, I knew I had to have it.
My theory is that the guy was so high when he had it, and it kept making that noise, that creaking noise, the noise. And he's like, something's clearly not bolted down, right? Something needs it. And he just started putting in bolts, putting in different rivets and everything. And one of these is going to fix it. And then none of them fixed it because that was nowhere near where the issue was. He was just trying. Next thing you know, if he didn't turn it in, he would have been putting a bunch of duct tape on it, and it would have just been covered in duct tape, trying to make it stick together.
Because that's what we do here, which you would know if you were subscribed. And if you're not subscribed, you probably don't need therapy as much as the guys who are. So if you want more shit like this to keep you up at night, go ahead and subscribe. So now let's look at the receiver. So AKs have two types of receivers. This one right here has a milled receiver.
That's a cool looking gun.
Milled down from a solid chunk of billet or forged steel. The other type, which is far more common, is your stamped receiver, which we have here, a bulged, stamped receiver here. Got our tantals here. This is just stamped sheet metal where it is cut to size and folded into place, and then, of course, heat treated and all. The difference is they use precision dies to make sure everything is bent perfectly in alignment to be able to be used as a receiver.
I'm doing good, Wayne. I hope you're doing well too.
Molest it with a ball-peen hammer until it vaguely resembles the shape of an AK. This probably started, obviously, as a receiver flat.
It's like people say, close only counts in horseshoes, hand grenades, and gun assembly. Okay, as long as it looks the part, it's gonna work. It's like how orcs work in Warhammer 40k. If you believe strong enough that that gun works 100% of the time, it's gonna work 100% of the time. That is fueled by the power of belief. Okay, it's as soon as you're like, maybe this gun isn't safe, that's when it blows up in your face. Okay, you gotta fully believe in it.
Where it's not pre-bent, and it's kind of like an 80% for an AK. That was really popular back in the day. It was just a flat receiver that you get a bending jig for and put it in a press and fold it up over. Even if this guy did have a folding jig for this, which he clearly did not, this isn't even the right receiver for this gun. This is a regular trunnion receiver, like you'd have something like here where it's just flat all the way across. The M70s have bulged front trunnions, which is, a little bulge in the sheet metal as well to accommodate for, I don't know, a thicker trunnion. It's almost like there's steel in the way. Not a problem for this guy. He's just gonna beat the shit out of it and just kind of work around it until it vaguely takes the shape and the metal just gets out of the way. Life hack. The magwell is just so openly flared here. This is just like a bass mouth receiver or magwell. So now how do we attach this to the gun? Well, we basically hammer in some rivets here when you decide you feel like it. There's just like rivets like this on this gun that just aren't fucking there. They're
gone.
Didn't show up for work.
They weren't necessary.
You see this rivet hole up here where this would have been, again, for a standard receiver, you'd have two up top, where on the M70 you have one down for the magwell rivet. You have one up and then one down again. Now let's just breeze over the fact that these are just flat out the wrong rivets, and this rivet shouldn't even be here. I think that's holding in the inner rail.
It's decorative, okay? That's for style. It's a decorative rivet, okay? I don't like that he is insulting the style points that this gun has, okay? Everybody knows that style points adds extra penetrative damage to your gun weapon, okay? That's why everybody buys skins in Call of Duty When you buy a skin for your weapon, it does extra damage if it looks cooler. Same thing with knives. Knives kill people faster if your knife looks really cool. Everyone knows that. Okay, everyone knows. I'm kind of astonished that, you know, a guy whose entire channel is dedicated to guns doesn't understand that rivet adds plus 2% penetrative power to the gun. But you know, I guess you can't know everything.
To the trigger guard. I just love that you just hold this gun upside down.
We did not watch a new Kentucky Ballistics video yet. No.
That actually works. Holy shit. It's very safe, unless you're trying to operate upside down. It's also probably not safe at all to shoot, which makes me feel great about having to do that later. Stick around to see how that goes.
There's no way he's firing himself,
but now, see,
right?
down here on the trigger guard and the mag release, not the most, you know, pressure-bearing part, but still, these are supposed to be 4 rivets, and it's just nut-screw combo straight from an erector set. Our rear trunnion rivets are just absolutely smashed to shit, and this one's completely cut away because the Yugos have this little button here.
Hang on.
So,
hang on 1 second, I'll be right back.
rear trunnion rivets are just absolutely smashed to shit, and this one's completely cut away because the Yugos have this little button here. So to take off the dust cover and move this, remove the recoil spring assembly, you have to press that button in, and that gets
Your stocks just crashed? My stock is fine.
There we go.
There's been a fall in the market, but it's
dust
fine.
Cover. We'll get to all that goodness inside later. So here to accommodate for this space taken up.
What is
by
with
this
that spring? Is the spring supposed to be that bent inside of an AK? That doesn't look right. Yeah, I had to go catch Saitama because he escaped the basement. I got him, though. Don't worry.
Button. He decided to just cut off the top part of that rivet. You know, that's just the rivet that holds your rear trunnion in. It's all right. It's
trunnion.
Not doing a good job anyway. Could you zoom in on that, please? Like, zoom in, like, right here. How
Zoom
easy
in
I am able to move the entire rear trunnion. Yeah, that's
trunnion.
Barely secured by one rivet that is also moving. Like, that is teeter-tottering as I'm doing this. So this is, oh man, I really don't want to shoot this now. Yeah, he cut through the entire upper part of the receiver here and did the same on the other side. Don't do that. But wait, there's more. So let's take this out. Take our bolt and carrier out of the gun. Which, that is the sad part, is that this is a really nice parts kit. All things considered, he didn't fuck with the bolt, he didn't fuck with the bolt carrier. The barrel is the original barrel from what I can tell, so this was a head-spaced original barrel, like front end assembly with a front trunnion and all. The headspace is still great, which means, you know, I at least theoretically shouldn't completely blow up. But it really sucks because this is a nice kit that's just completely been bastardized. What I'm saying is basically here forward, with the exception of the receiver and the rivets, was built in Yugoslavia.
Okay.
Now, Serbia, technically. In the words of Markiplier, this is great. I
What'd
like
he say?
this.
Oh, he's making a joke at Markiplier. He's doing the Markiplier meme. Got it.
Worried about this. This is just not good. Here we just have a rusty kind of spare stamped receiver that we just had laying around the shop. But what I'm going to use this to demonstrate, besides why it's important to keep your rust under control, is the center support.
It adds a little bit of pizzazz if you got
that is right there in the middle of the receiver. So basically what this is just a little, like it says, a center support to give the stamped receiver a little bit more rigidity, and it also can act as a hammer stop when the bolt and carrier are not installed and you still dry fire. Does less damage to the gun. So that steel cylinder is riveted in place with a long rivet. As you can see, there is a rivet going through here, so it's through one side, out the other, and smashed. Not the best example of it. This is kind of a cheaper receiver, but you get the idea. Here we get a screw, a flathead screw, and again, erector set nut combo here with a super, super small threaded screw that I mean, is already noticeably bent.
Is it bent slightly to like
very well.
The left? If I'm looking right there, it looks like it's got a little bit of a curve to it, okay? You know, a little curve is normal, all right? Okay, some ladies like a little bit of curve, but that's a little too noticeable right there, you know? Okay, and I don't think a manufactured gun should be having so much curve on it, you know? That's a little worrisome right there.
Yeah, that is noticeably bent, because I imagine the guy did this more than a few times. Now that we're looking through the top of the gun, first of all, it is just dirty as shit, and just a lot of, I don't know, just
And
nasty
dirt
grease
builds
and
character.
gasoline and, you know, whatever else. I imagine you probably had to keep this fairly well lubricated to have a prayer in hell of running. But you'll notice that the receiver is absolutely smashed. None of this is straight. It's heavily warped, and the fact that the bolt carrier is able to pass through this freely, or relatively freely, is just a testament to the AK platform. Also notice that sometimes, see if it does it. Okay, no, went into battery that time.
See, okay, this is how you just know that he knows what he's talking about, that this is a channel where he's not just, you know, obviously, okay, like it goes without saying, obviously, he's not someone who's just cosplaying as somebody who knows about guns. Who's like, because some people probably think some of these gun channels are just people shooting guns. Like, I have a gun, I'm gonna shoot something, boom, look, explosion, like and subscribe, give me money, that type of thing. I'm sure there are people who think that. But he looked at this AK. Okay, he just looked at this AK, and obviously, if you showed me this AK and you asked me, is this a good AK? I'd be like, that looks a little fucked up. It looks wrong. I couldn't give you a goddamn dissertation on why it is fucked up. He looked at this gun, and he's just going piece by piece by piece by piece by piece of like, this is a problem, this is a problem, this is how it should look, this is a problem. Oh, he probably did this fucked up, this is wrong, boom, should be doing this is how it should look. Like, wow. Just the level of knowledge he has in that luscious hair of his, because that's where the brain is stored, right in the hair, is just amazing. Amazing. Like I wouldn't even be able to like look up to make this type of thing. This is something you just accrue over time, and he's just showing it off so well.
There you go. Sometimes it does that, which just means there's way too much fucking play going on here, and the bolt is just allowed to prematurely rotate before it even gets into the trunnion, which stops up the whole thing.
Trunnion.
Frankly, is not very good at all for the bolt, so I'm not going to do that a whole lot, because I am going to try to salvage this parts kit, but we'll get to that later. There you go. But still, the fact that this even kind of works, as thrown together as this is, like, it's one of those, like, Tony Stark was able to build this in a day with a box of scraps. Like, this is seriously like an afternoon throw together job, because you have an ambush in 3 hours. Like, that is what this shit is. There's a million other little things that I could bitch about with this gun.
Bitch about it.
I'm just not going to go into, because it's just really in-depth stuff. But I know what you're thinking. Will it AK? I'm nervous, but we're about to find out.
So we're out here on the range.
He's not gonna. Is he gonna shoot this himself? The amount of cojones he has to have to shoot this himself. Because I would totally strap this to a thing to shoot it for me.
Going to attempt to test fire this without, well, you know, having the rapid unscheduled disassembly. And a little extra insight as to, besides the obvious why I'm nervous, all the lockup is between the
he's
bolt
fine.
and the front trunnion, of which...
Oh my god.
Freely moves.
That's suggestive.
So we're gonna try it first. I've got 2 rounds of Bellum loaded up. I don't want to load up any more than that right now, because I don't know if this is gonna run away or what. I've never shot this, and I didn't really want to. I also do want to point out with the mag fitment, this mag well is more of a suggestion.
Oh no.
It's just so blown open. It locks in pretty decent, but that can't be good for feeding. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I'm honestly fucking nervous.
You have an emotional,
so I might go a little
AK.
bit overboard. I actually brought just the thing. Voila! On top of being peak Tarkov LARP.
Okay. All right. My brain is so freaking cooked. I saw that. I thought he was wearing a Fursona muzzle. I thought this right here with what you're looking at, I thought that was a snout. I thought he turned into a dog, and it's like, this is my tactical U.S. Army Fursona. I thought that's what that was. Oh, my brain's so cooked. Oh, I thought that was a wolf thing. I was like, oh no, where did he get that? But no, it's not. Okay, we're fine.
This is my Scott insurance, so to speak. Got an Ops Core Fast SF with the ballistic mandible, specifically meant for fragmentation.
So when I've got the gun like
I mean, you
this,
look at that, and it
hopefully
looks like
that's
it's
gonna
a
protect
it's a snap.
shards of shit from going into my neck. Not shit, not literal human shit, but like chunks of gun. You know what I mean. All right.
The classic AK thing. Wasn't there? I saw a skit, a funny little skit before he shoots this and maybe dies. There was a skit where it showed like 2 U.S. Army soldiers shooting their guns, and then they both are reloading at the same time to do it, and then they're both gonna round the chamber. And the U.S. one of the guys, you know, he does it with his right hand, but then it shows the other guy, he reaches over like he does with an AK, and there's no way to round the chamber right there because it's not an AK. And then the other soldier looks at him, and it's like the Metal Gear Solid that pops up, and then he points his gun at him. He's like, "It's a spy! It's a Russian spy!" Because he was so used to using, you know, the reach around method for an AK that he did in muscle memory to a U.S. Military rifle that does not require the reach around for right-handed people. So, yeah.
That was the most sluggish chambering I've ever seen on an AK. That's because it didn't pick up a round. That's cool.
Like a Pez dispenser.
What a fucking winner, dude. Come here, check this out. What the fuck, man? It's totally missing.
Huh. Wow.
Yeah, we may not be able to shoot this. Oh, there you go. If I hold the magazine up, it wants to go. Kinda. Close enough. Cool. All right. Yeah, backing up's probably a good idea. All right. 1 like equals 1 prayer. Hoping for the best. 3, 2. Well, let me not hold it there just in case the magazine blows out the bottom. That's usually a terrible place to grab if you're expecting the gun to explode. This is probably a little safer. We'll see. Redefining rifle grenade in 3, 2, 1.
Oh my. That's a lot of smoke. Is that meant to have a lot of smoke?
Well, it almost actually picked up another round. That's interesting.
And then it's just stuck. Or is it meant to do that? No, it's not.
That recoil impulse is super weird. So it's not exploding, that's a plus. The recoil impulse is super weird on it because it feels almost like a bolt gun because you're getting like half of the cycling. You're getting that, but it's holding back like here. It doesn't want to go forward, like right there. So that's not super pleasant.
So it will gun.
Rotation of the bolt is happening pretty severely, where it'll stop forward here to where the round is actually
Stop watching so many bow
on
clips.
its own will.
Never.
Pretty much fully seated in the chamber, but the bolt is lagging back here because it's rotated too early because it's trying to lock, but there's nothing to lock into because it's just a shittily made receiver. Well, now that we proved that the gun running away on us is really the last of our concerns, let's try it with a Magatula. See if we can get any decent results out of it.
All right.
Or at least a couple of consecutive rounds.
Yeah, this is a low weapon condition weapon in like Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas, where you need another AK, and then you're like, oh, repair, and then you hear the sound effect in the Fallout New Vegas, and then boom, now you got a 50% condition AK.
Come on, little buddy. All right, there you go. Just needs a little encouragement sometimes.
Is it hot? I'm assuming it's hot. Or is it not? Nah, it's not. Yeah, what is happening? By this point, it'd be more effective to just run at the enemy with a knife.
Gun needs a fluffer to work. Oh, that one almost fully seated.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, a flinch. Yeah. That fucking worked.
Just hit it. Just hit it. It responds to being hit.
Almost. You know, we're kind of getting to the point where I think I would almost rather have an Anderson AR-15. So it's not totally surprising that this is quote-unquote safe to shoot, just because the lockup and everything, like I said, is in the front trunnion here, and you know,
trunnion.
The shit that makes this not blow up is the front trunnion forward. So all this stuff was made by a Yugoslavian factory, by Zastava. This was made by...
Meth head.
Well, an idiot. So this part works great. This part, the actual function of the gun, so to speak, not so much. Try to help that magazine in a little bit more.
What was that?
I think we're done. So hopefully now you guys realize just why I had to show you guys this thing. This is...
Do you think he still has it?
I've seen a lot of shitty AK builds.
Do you think he still has this gun? Is it like always been in the background and I've just never noticed because I didn't know the history behind this gun? Is it still there? I'd keep it. I'd mark it as like do not use. Like this isn't even good for war. Like you'd rather have a knife. All right, if you're gonna be using something, just take a knife, start trying to, you know, Metal Gear Solid your way through it, like, ching, you know, just get in a, what do you call it, a cardboard box, do that. You know they did that against an AI. There was an AI that the military was testing with it to try to spot enemy combatants. Okay, and the soldiers were then tasked with trying to get around it and everything. And it was pretty good at spotting them when they're just, you know, running up to it, trying to sneak like a normal person would. And then they were like, let's get creative. Okay, it's an AI. It's looking for people. It's not looking for a cardboard box that's moving. So they were like, well, they took you know, what do you call it? Inspiration from Metal Gear Solid. And they're like, okay, we'll try with the cardboard box. And it worked because the AI is not looking for cardboard boxes. It is looking for humans. And then they try, okay, what if we don't walk and run like a human? What if we do somersaults? What if we do backflips or stuff like that? What if we just do unorthodox movements? They're like, nope, yep, the AI didn't find you. Because it wasn't looking for humans that are for some reason doing cartwheels. So it's like that. Humans don't walk like that. They don't walk on their hands and upside down and everything. That's not a human. That's not an enemy combatant. That's something else. And it worked.
Over the years, a lot of shitty AK builds. This one has got to take the cake for a couple of reasons, as far as a cursed AK parts kit build where you took a really good parts kit and slapped it together so shitty, but it still somehow kind of runs. Honestly, again, just big shout out to Mickey K. Like, Mikhail Kalashnikov really nailed it with this shit, because if you're this far out of spec with pretty much anything besides a fucking flintlock, that is a recipe for disaster. So the fact that this is even
the AK will never die.
Mind-blowing. I guess those are the tolerances you have to design shit for when it's being translated into 8 different languages and being made, you know, in 30 different countries by less than willing participant workers in a lot of cases who can't read. It's a miracle any of these things work. Anyhow, my big plan with this thing is that since this is just a really, really nice kit, just begging to be brought to life, like its older brother over here, if we get 100,000 likes on this video, which should be easy, you should have liked the video already. Come on, are you not entertained? If we get 100,000 likes, I will do a video breaking this thing down completely and then rebuilding it as an uncursed AK. Or just an AK. But I think it would be a fitting end, just to be able to show you something.
So he probably still has it, it's just
horrific
fixed.
And give it a happy ending. Because if there's one thing I love, it's happy endings. So anyhow, if you'd like to see that, there's an easy way to make it happen. Just go ahead and hit that like button. And while you're down there, be sure to subscribe. And make sure you're still subscribed, because YouTube still kind of does that unsubscribing our subscribers from us thing every now and again. So just, you know, stay on top of it. Make sure
that's still an issue today. I know it probably is.
Distance accidentally. Nobody can come between us, is what I'm saying. Anyhow, that's about all I've got for this video. I appreciate you guys watching until the end, and as always, I will see you sexy YouTube mother lovers in the next video. Thanks, guys.
Nuts. Oh no, there it is. How many how many YouTube accounts do you think there are that people use daily that have never subscribed to anything? They just go purely off of the algorithm. They just do that. How many do you think are out there? There's got to be at least one, right?
If you have any small, well, with the zipper joke, that doesn't really work. I was going to say, if you have any small children in the room, now's the time to leave. The other type, which is far more common, fuck.
You merely adapted to the LARP. I was born with it, molded by it. I did not touch a woman until I was a man.
Yeah. Remember
That's when you become a man,
my
though.
point was teasing about making a line of AKs. I think I might have accidentally stumbled upon the prototype.
Because if there's one thing I love, it's happy endings. That camera punch was so uncomfortable because I watched it happen. I could see it in the fucking lens. I'm like, oh no, this is the bit. This is what it's gonna look like. Fuck, I'm on somebody's big screen. I'm panicking. What do I do?
Oh man, stop it. There we go. Whew. All right. And chat and people in the future YouTube area. If you want me to watch the video where he like breaks it down, because I'm assuming, yeah, I'm assuming he has that video, because let's see, yeah, I think he reached 100,000. I feel like he did. So if you want me to watch that, let me know down in the comments down below. But you know, until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day, and also, you know, maybe come by the Discord, come by the live streams live, you know, stuff like that. You know, just stuff like that. But until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day. And stay awesome, y'all.